Darn again, have to do the whole Instagram thing. I hate
No music video for this start.
I hate all the copyright claims and the things they don't tell you when you start a podcast. We don't have any people that have joined yet, so might as well make sure everything's working. Yeah, it says we're live. And it says we're live there. Cool. Yeah, might as well just get started here. It's not like people can't catch up. Yeah, week 2 included roughly 1 or 2 games for each of the teams out there. Any early takeaways that you got?
We were talking about this before we got live, but I think teams probably are finalizing the 14 to 15 players they can count on. That's usually how it goes, preseason. Players can come into the lineup in the rotation, but then after the second, third game, that's when the coaches kind of are more concrete on who they're going to play, especially when the conference games are coming up next week. But some good results for some teams, some questionable results for other teams. But so it's another good slot of games, a lot of games once again for us to watch. So it was fun, but a lot of notes to take.
Yeah, and like you said, I still think there are plenty of teams out there trying to figure out their best 11 or the 14, 15 guys that they're going to roll with consistently throughout the year. And again, something you alluded to, and a lot of things that kind of obvious in the college game, there's just a lot of turnover year to year, graduates, transfers, stuff like that. So for some teams, they're still learning. Some teams are still trying to get their offensive cohesiveness down. So it's almost kind of funny. We had a couple games of exhibitions, but these first few or 2 to 3 games, it almost feels like an extension of that, while also having the results matter. So you see a couple different strategies out there with different teams. Are we gonna kind of front load our schedule against very difficult teams on paper and learn a lot because we already kind of know how we're going to line up. We know who our guys are. Now let's really start to build how it's going to look against the top opponents when we come into conference play. But then also you get a resume builder straight off the bat. Which comes in handy maybe towards if you're on the bubble of the tournament. But
I respect a lot of top games out of the non-conference, which is cool. Like you look at Georgetown, for example, High Point, Maryland, and then Pittsburgh back to back to back.
Yeah.
Which is as a player, that's awesome. Like, especially the older players that want to push on and play against the top teams with the top scouts and teams watching, from the next level. So that's exactly what you want to see. Like George Mason too, playing Marshall and Virginia back to back. So I think long term, it probably will help them because they're going to be battle tested already. You know what I mean? It's not, and I get playing maybe a lesser team to build confidence, or maybe that's just how the schedule is for them that year with travel and logistics. But the older I got through my college career, the more I was like, I just want to play the top teams. You know what I mean? I don't really want to play a team that maybe isn't not well known, but I want to play a good RBI team with good players and just test the team's ability to see how it copes. Because in the long run during the tournament, they can look back on that and probably have learned lessons from those games.
Yeah. And again, a lot of this is you can kind of see which teams are not so worried about the early record, but their prime objective is getting into the tournament and doing well there. and having the experience early on against some teams that you might see in the future. Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. But you mentioned George Mason, a team that is on the rise. We've seen plenty of teams come up through, and it's kind of a development over the years. So George Mason looks to keep building upon some of the success they had last year, and they did it with a 3-1 win over 11th ranked Virginia. So this is a game that you watch fully. Here's the goals.
George Mason, I like that. They're good. I'm impressed with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a slick move right there.
I know we talked about it after the Marshall game, how I was impressed with the way they played, and they were very courageous on the ball. And I basically said the Virginia game will be good to see if it's a one-off or if they're consistently like this, because I know last year they were top 15, top 25 for a while. But I mean, once again, they're just good. Good mix of domestic and foreign talent, very patient build-up play, very professional way of building up. They basically build in a 2-3 or a 3-2 with maybe one of their outside fullbacks kind of coming in. But they played through Virginia multiple times where it got to the point where Virginia just sat off them, And it's just the composure and the courageousness is the biggest thing that stands out for me with them. I mean, it doesn't really matter what minute it was for them. They're going to play out. And when Virginia did step, the goalkeeper had composure and just played out to the outside back in quick combinations with the midfielder. So I was extremely impressed. I think, we talked about Mo Tucker too, the transfer from VCU, who had a good summer with Columbus United, but up and down the left flank. He's listed as a midfielder on the roster, but that left back spot, he's super comfortable in. But yeah, just George Mason's definitely a team to be on. They're my dark horses, I guess, low-key now. I have to die on the hill backing them, but they're good. They're a good team.
We all have to have a solid dark horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch from start to finish, but it was I'll play the next goal. That's where Mo Tucker provides the assist. But yeah, back not this past summer, this season or summer before, when Columbus United went all the way to the MPSL final, I believe. I remember I went to their game versus Hickory, which is a great place if you're into the summer ball around the Carolinas, Lenore Rhine. Really nice stadium, but yeah, the lineup that they had that summer was a mix of some of the VCU guys, Javi Sato, Carter Berg, I believe, and I was pretty impressed with quite a few of them. So yeah, when I saw that Mo Tucker transferred to George Mason, I was like, that's a pretty good pickup there. I paused it, but for the Virginia goal, there's your boy, Nicholas Simmons. I know you're lightly familiar with the Richmond kicker.
He's been playing a lot lately as a 9, which is good to see.
Yeah, good opportunity for the youngster. But yeah, for that last goal, coming up here, here's Mo Tucker himself. And these cutbacks, they did it on the first goal and they did it here. Just changing kind of that point of attack where everybody is flowing back towards the goal. You're sliding it underneath and pretty much a really good open look. But yeah, handling business. I posted we'll rewind a little bit. So we're covering was that Thursday or Friday?
Thursday. It was a long time ago.
Okay, because I was Thursday
game.
We got to make sure everyone's aware. These are the Thursday games. We're probably just going to do maybe 5 of them real quick.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Friday. But yeah, I thought, and again, I mean, I posted this on Twitter, but the Penn State versus Syracuse game, again, one of these ACC versus Big Ten 1-1 results. But man, was it a fun game to watch. There was some absolute rockets in terms of goals here. So that's Kelvin DaCosta to open the scoring. And there's going to be several opportunities for both sides. I think Thomas Hutt had a more difficult time with some of the shots that were coming in. So, like Lauren Mack, I know that was against Georgetown, but another goalkeeper that I'm giving man of the match. But Davey Levy on Penn State and Kai Phillip had his chances. So, we talked about it in the Big Ten preview. The team that comes in last place in the Big Ten, they don't come in last place again. And I think Penn State's fired up this year, and they should be getting
They have
some
a lot of
results.
talent returners too, so like the ranking and the standings, they don't like any team who plays against them knows it's going to be a tough game, so they're not going into it thinking it's an easy game.
Yeah.
And that's like any big team you play in a big conference.
Yeah, I believe the next clip is one of the really good chances. Oh, yeah, here's a goal. Nope, next time. That was a pretty good through ball. Usually I do the annotations to help out. Yeah, Carlos Zambrano too. I know this is a miss wide, but he has a really good chance later in the game and some really basically key passes. The offense that he helps provide, especially coming off the summer with Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, there's Freddie Bell, his goal, Crystal Palace Academy guy. But look at the work rate for Penn State too to try to get back on these things. And this is Omeze, who almost nearly got in, and he was brilliant too. And yeah, both keepers had to be on the money today or on Thursday. Yeah, this one's a good one. Great settle, turn and strike, and again a great save by the Penn State keeper. So yeah, this game could have easily been maybe like 3-2 or 3-3.
Whenever I tune into like a Syracuse game, the last 10 minutes, it's just end to end, like just super chaotic. So many chances for both teams. It's always like fun to watch, but like also stressful.
Yeah, and I mean you'll love the like last 5 seconds of this game because they nearly had, or last 30 seconds of this game they nearly had the winner. Yeah, I'm still waiting on these Davey Levy clips because they're really good. But this is like, I mean, I know Kai Phillip didn't come away with a goal on this game, but he was, I mean, I just like when these guys are testing. Yeah, this is a 40-yard blast from Levy, the Ireland man went to Mount Verde. And that's fine. Like more things started heating up for both sides. I know this one's long for everybody, but yeah, here's a curler almost nearly top corner.
Great pass.
Yeah, and just great speed.
Fullback was low key almost on there, huh?
Yeah, and I mean the defender, I know it almost went in his own net, but that's what we talk about when we say that those center backs need to start pretty much doing that, cutting off any of these balls coming through the six, because we see too many teams getting scored on balls that pass by two dudes, and then they give away a goal on the back post. So you got to commit, and luckily they got away with that. Yeah, we're getting down to it now. But yeah, another crucial save with 7 minutes to go. That's the type of you want, or the type of saves you need from your goalkeeper at times. And there's one from Carlos Zambrano on the other end with 4 minutes to go. And then, I mean, look at this ball and the pace from Darko. Perfect. And this is a challenge with these one-on-ones, like especially in that scenario, because you have three defenders on their horse chasing down. You don't have like too much time to actually think about it. And when goalkeepers don't make mistakes, when they trying to go around them and they're quick on their feet to make that dive and prevent you. Because we've seen that a couple times
Right,
lately.
FIU NC State with Phillip, like same kind of thing where
Yeah.
he just got the ball went around the goalkeeper, like to the side of the goalkeeper, but Phillip has put his body in front, and if it's contact, it's most likely always going to be a foul.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on. ACC Network Extra, I think, took this one. Either it wasn't available on replay, so I only have a couple of the goals from SMU, but I wanted to bring this one up because you called it. Daniel Scorsia
Yeah,
is back and making an impact. I mean,
he's
look at
so
this
vital
ball
for his
here.
team.
The spin and that narrow cutback to Lopez
Yeah,
to a narrow angle for him. And I mean, what a finish. And then here's the insurance goal breakaway for Sagamonian. And, you know, they were saying after the game that this was the best that they've played so far this season. And they've made some changes kind of how they play, like with Escorcia back, Brunet's more pulling the strings, and Brunet actually got the winner again. Well, we'll talk about it when we talk about Wake, but the late arriving deeper lying midfielders, when the ball pops out and they can make those strikes from outside the box. But yeah, I mean, Brunet scoring in front of his family for his first SMU goal.
and Benet like can definitely pull the strings, especially like
Yeah,
people can consider him a technical like pocket player, but he also is capable of playing that deep lying playmaker, especially if he has a more defensive six beside him. Because players like him, they're very dangerous, like seeing the game in front of them and having the ball at their feet to
yeah,
find the pocket players. And I think that's what they were missing the first two games. So now that he has the ability to like drop deeper, and now he has players in front of him that can drop in those pockets, it's cool. It's cool to see them actually combine now, because before it was a little bit more direct. But I think we said
yeah,
in the ACC preview that they're a ball playing team, and now the overload in the middle is more prevalent, so you can really see it.
yeah. And like it's a style that, well, we've said it a couple times now. Like the team's just going to have to play slightly different than they did last year because you don't have the type of wingbacks and you don't have Bailey Sparks. But they do still maintain much of that front group. And we see with other teams, if you get four attackers in front of you with really good kind of playmakers behind in the deeper areas, like you just need to facilitate that front four and help them get their chances. And it'll be a little bit different of a style than maybe last year, but they have all the pieces to, you know, be similar playing style to Clemson.
Yeah.
And we'll get to them because they had another massive game in terms of goal scoring. But first, we'll go to kind of the goals breakdown version of Wake Forest versus Oral Roberts. So to start this off, I think throughout this play, Oral Roberts did as good as they could to defend this. And I mean, I didn't watch from start to finish, but based on the scoreline and the goals they conceded, it appears that, I mean, on paper, that their defensive unit or their organization throughout the lines was pretty strong. So the front three, narrow, kind of blocking off or trying to block off passes directly into the midfield. So Mason Sullivan will go wide here to Escribano. Now I'll pause it again. And this is, again, that next line up, the midfield organization here against anybody else. I mean, four bodies, tight window for Escribano to try to make this pass to Umar. But this just shows like the depth of quality with Wake Forest, because even though Escribano's in this 1v1 where the window is so tight and Bassett has 4 bodies around him, and Sarajan's on the touchline there. The way they're able to build through such a tight group is very impressive.
Yeah.
And then I also have Jose Perez. You won't see him again until the goal is scored, but it just kind of shows what we were talking about, the late arriving, more holding midfielder who obviously has his shooting boots. We've seen it in free kicks. This time we'll get to it, but yeah. So this pass comes in, and pretty much immediately,
Harvey knows right away.
Yeah, two touch
Harvey
right
knows
through
the goal.
another tight window.
Yeah.
And Oral Roberts does a really good job to collapse here and protect the goal. And the ball will spit out for a first-time finish from Jose Perez. But the technique on, and again, like we've seen it quite a few times now, and we talked about this offline, to keep that ball low and driven like that is something that, anybody out there looking or if you're a parent and you want your kids to learn how to strike the ball without putting it way over, look at that in slow-mo. But he like snaps at it so hard, but his follow through is tight, which will keep it low. And I mean, there was really no chance to keep that out, because if it makes it through that traffic,
No, it's a rocket.
Yeah, tough thing to save.
And that's a great run by Harvey, because he knows the moment when that ball goes into Bassett is like to make that run. So he was already on the backside of the opposition right back. So from there, it's just easy for him.
Yeah, I love when you see kind of instinctual play like that it's so quick that that they're thinking ahead. Like before Bassett even got that ball, he knew it was going down the line to Harvey, and Harvey knew it too. And I mean, that's the type of stuff that you hope that your team can develop. But it looks like the new man is adjusting well with Bassett Umar. Then on the corner kick, just felt like showing the design of it. A little cluster organization here, but it's very methodical on who goes where and when. So arm goes up, they're still jostling, and as soon as the ball is touched, they're already showing 3 are dropping back to the half arc. One's going to stay on the penalty dot, and then the rest of the 5 are in between, spread out pretty evenly, penalty dot to 6-yard box. And eventually the ball is perfectly delivered and this is what I was talking about. Right where Tate Lorenz out jumps his man, and again, more insurance goals.
No, solid win overall.
Yeah. Sorry. Since Temple and Dayton was the early game on Thursday, I watched that one from start to finish. Took some stats on Miles Bonham, the right center midfielder. Only missed 2 passes on the day, and 24 total progressive or expansive, only 5 backward. So that's some pretty good passing stats there. In the double pivot, some of those deeper midfielders aren't always seeing the ball as much as maybe the lone 6 would. So despite roughly 30 passes, where we used to see like Jerron Gerbey having 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like his presence. He kind of like floats around the midfield and patrols it. And, another clean sheet for them. And I think their organization or their midfield presence helps alleviate some of the pressure off of that back line. So it's, again, kind of those team defending talking points that we usually talk about.
Yeah.
And I did want to bring up just one player, because I thought like his work underneath will be something that you'll enjoy here, Dylan.
Let's
But
see.
yeah, Andrew Armstrong, off of a season, and this is him right here. Little connective stuff. So he gets the ball back, cuts back. He likes operating underneath the forwards, despite being a forward, and creates probably the best chance of the first half. Wins the ball here. Again, looks for the interior, lays it off, kind of keeps gravitating, gets it again, and he'll have a rip here, kind of tough on the shoulders, but nice little layoff for Bonham. Sprays it wide. And I will say it was rainy. That's why some of these clips were a little fuzzy. I feel like the feed was, but yeah, that spin, turn, lay off again, and he'll end up getting the shot here blocked. But yeah, I just like players that can flow and pop off, keep being a part of the play.
I like how he continues his run after kind of he plays those 1-2s and well, that's a good work rate right there as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what another aspect I wanted to show, because as soon as he wins it back, he's flying up the field again.
Yeah, those connective attackers are very vital for, I guess, like any team, no matter the level.
Yeah,
Connecting the midfield to the attacking phase, but also like continuing your run and not stopping.
yeah. So shout out Andrew Armstrong. Good stuff. Uh
We can say UCLA,
yeah.
and
A couple
tie.
Big Ten
Yeah.
1-1 draws against Southern California teams. Yeah, you want to take that one?
There's
real
nothing
quick?
really to say. I wasn't able to watch the game, but they did finally find the net, Oliver Roche. But they still need to find a win. Like I said, early days, so it's not panic right now, but still, like you want to see them pick it up sooner or later, right?
Yeah, especially
And
with the type of attacking talent that team has with Solans. I mean, Roche off the mark with
yeah,
some good maneuver on the left. Top just roofs it. And
yeah. Then Washington, UC Davis 1-1, and Huskies same thing. Still searching for the first win, the 0-2-1 right now. So you know, same thing, talented team, a lot of good attacking options. So it's just a matter of when it clicks.
yeah. Yeah, and again, we'll figure out a lot when conference play starts. But yeah, Charlie Kosikov off the mark. A team that isn't struggling for goals is because I know how much you like my transitions there.
No, that was good.
We're
Friday
going.
games. We got the Friday. Yeah, it was
Yeah, we're
awesome.
moving into the Friday games, and everybody, an episode can't be complete without showing. Well, we did a goals breakdown of Clemson versus South Carolina. We have the goals against UAB, and this is where they just are dialing in the amount of special moments that the Riggs faithful can be happy about. But Remy Okunlola just kind of waltzing through, beats three guys, takes a shot, pops up. Nisei Oshizawa there.
Good
And we'll
reaction.
pause it. Our buddy Isaiah Reed in the commentary booth for the first time did a really good job.
Shout out Isaiah.
Yeah, and this one's a really good one for him to call because there's just some brilliant goals. And, free kick, Ransford earned it. He'll take it. Up and down off the crossbar, Floki, Stevenson there to pounce. And again, some more magic from who we say in our little scoring tool that he's the highest scorer by our metrics. But here's another top player. And again, great to have him back. But all of these guys, you had Remy dribble through.
3 or 4 players.
Ransford dribbling, creating free kicks. Then you have Nathan Richmond dribbling through and just off a short corner kick. just kind of walking it in. But that's the level of technical ability that this front group have. And it's hard to play 1v1 against them because they're on the elite level of technical ability. But this one's probably the goal of the night. Another quick-footed win by Yoshizawa. And UAB probably think they have this shut down when he starts clipping it back. But no, little chip to the backside.
You think he meant that, or was that a cross?
I mean, we'll look at the other angle.
I mean, it's super
it's
clean.
Tough. Yeah. And then this is just really good team build-up. Again, great pass by Ransford out to Remy. And then Remy, like I said, great service provider. But yeah, after I know it's people say like, oh, it's just UAB. I'm still keeping receipts on the people who said last year that Ransford wasn't going to be a good pro. But yeah, it was kind of wild that he wasn't ranked higher by top drawer. Like I said, he's probably the highest on our scoring tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if he keeps the level that he's on, for sure, like number one draft pick. I don't know, like
he's being consistent.
Who's going to have it? But
on top of, like we talked about, on top of the consistency, he's doing something that's like noticeably higher than everyone else on the field. Whether it's like a moment of magic and a goal, an assist, he's turning games in moments that other players can't do, and I think that's what sets him apart. And I think a lot of people talked about last year with his size and maybe not combining as well with his teammates, but we've just seen the first 3 games how, like we talked about just a second ago with being a connective attacker. He's added that more to his game. So when you add that to already an extremely talented individual player who can do what we just saw, and he continues to do that, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and like you just said, I just feel like he's maturing tactically within these games, because it's not just the goal scoring at this point, and the dribbling. It's that pass to Remy wide for Moose's goal, and yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the ACC preview. We're not like concerned about his size because, even in I believe it was the South Carolina game, like the pace that he provides, it's just tough to keep up with the acceleration, the deceleration, and you said it a couple episodes ago, but like, and again, you alluded to it here, but in terms of the scouting, and this goes for everybody out there, maybe if you're a player listening, having something special about your game or an aspect of your game that can be considered elite, as you develop, depending on your position, being very solid on a particular skill, whether it's being an elite level passer, great in 1v1s, defending duels, all that stuff. Like, consistency is one thing, but if you want to play in elite leagues or top leagues, you're gonna have to have something in your toolkit that is considered special. But I think, like, en route to that, a component for especially the younger players, something to get in the habits of, like, if you're still developing on certain skills that are more tangible, you can always have elite level work rate and knowledge of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say, outside of the training and getting better with like the individual side of it, people notice work rate. They notice, if you're tracking back, if you're bailing teammates out, because it shows desire. And I guess
Yeah.
one of the guys that came up to mind when I was thinking about that was like the first time I saw Tate Johnson. Like you don't see that type of desire that often, and sure enough, he's been doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of other attributes as well. But that was initially that like first tackle I saw. I'm like, holy crap! You don't see players willing to tackle like that.
And you just earn respect with your teammates and players and coaches. Like, when in doubt, just work hard. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. And good things usually happen um, if you have that type of work rate. But yeah, our buddy Gray, Remy, we all called it.
Yeah.
We'll get to NC State, but yeah, Ransford he just had a phenomenal week, and it looks like it'll continue until somebody tries to shut him down. But speaking of Pitt, we'll visit them next. So that'll be one of the can't miss games coming up.
Yeah.
Then Clemson has VCU at home, and then they're on the road against SMU. So I believe SMU will have 2 more tune-ups before taking on the beast. All right. Sticking in the ACC, I think I gotta still pull this up. Let me clean up our studio here. You got any early words on this game?
The Virginia Tech
versus
Marshall game. It was a good one. Definitely some controversy at the end in regards to PKs and all that we'll definitely get into. But it was a battle for sure. Virginia Tech, they suffered a lot in the first half in regards to defending. But with that being said, they defended well. But away at Marshall, you're going to have to concede the ball and basically hit on the counter, which they actually did a couple times, and they did catch Marshall out. But then again, Marshall had times where they played through because it's a give and take against them. But second half, they did create more chances on the counter, and they just, I think, like any team that plays Marshall, they're lately compared to last season, a lot of teams are more inclined to go for it and just like wait for a pressing opportunity and go, rather than last year was like, let me just not press at all. Then of course Marshall combated that by putting the foot on the ball and just waiting.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you that, because I was like the few kind of some of the aspects of the game that I was watching, or parts of it, like there's some Deserby-esque moments here.
And like sometimes, like if you're playing against Marshall, you're not going to press every time. But, like it's very professional, like the way Marshall plays with basically the 2 sixers are so tight where it's a lot of up back throughs working together. But you see in there,
this is the first goal.
Yeah.
Very extended clip. I just wanted to show kind of the lead up to it.
They pressed, the goalkeeper cleared it. And Virginia Tech, they're a quality team on the ball, so they were also weren't afraid to play, but they're a little bit more direct. But you'll see like the best moments is when they counter pressed once losing it and winning it in a good area up the field against Marshall's like back line.
Yeah, and I paused it here because again, cool similar theme that we had. I like when some of these midfielders, like Marcano here, just drops it off to his back line. He's at the halfway line. He's the eventual goal scorer here. But, there are some advantages if that's kind of your natural position. If you are trusting the build-up and you make that half field kind of like navigation, because it's not like he's going to sprint through here, but he's going to almost go undetected just because he's arriving from such a deep area. Because I guess, again, you think off screen here, a lot of the defenders and midfielders are already, and we see one of the players going with Marcano here, but you're already figuring out who you're marking. You're not looking 30 yards downfield to see who's arriving, especially if you're already occupied. But yeah, the buildup will continue here. Bring them out a little bit. go long, create an opportunity here underneath. Sullen's almost had a chance. And then this is that press too. So Uemana back heel, and there's Marcano sliding in. And this is where the
like the
the
beef started
chippiness
on.
begins. I think I cut it a little bit, but you see
Oh, right here,
the Marshall players warming up, and I don't know what led up to that, but
that's football.
yep. And here's where there's I think this one's more controversial than the other one.
I agree.
I have the replay here. They'll say that Uemana clips him, but it's actually Scherer's outside foot, his left foot, that clips his own back heel. And we saw it last week with maybe he was watching the Vancouver versus St. Louis City game. But it's like even when that happened last week, sometimes I just love reading comment sections. But if people are still unaware, this is a technique of attackers where all you got to, like, if you're in a full stride, all you need to do is just take your trail leg, cross it behind your lead leg, and as it comes forward, you're going to actively trip yourself. And earlier in the video, the center referee is towards the center of the field. So from his vantage point, he's seeing Uemana, then he's seeing Scherer. So not something that I condone, but from the Marshall perspective, because I mean it's a smart play.
Yeah.
And really only him and Uemana will know exactly if anybody was like nicking their strides or anything like that. But
But like the biggest thing, like you said, like he's running to the ball and he knows that the Virginia Tech defenders are going to be behind him. So the moment there's contact, whether he like premeditated it or it happened naturally, like you're gonna go down. And as a ref, like it's for a ref's perspective, I think it's more clear and obvious because it's like, oh, it's in the box, the defender's behind the attacker. Surely it was contact,
Yeah, and they are tight. And again, different cameras than MLS, but again, to the ref's credit, I mean, his vantage point, he doesn't even bother to look at it. So the penalty equalizer from Rio Pinto. 1-1. But then Virginia Tech come back on a counterattack.
Great ball right here.
Yeah, great ball by Bellatrash through the gaps. First time shot.
That near post is
keeper
difficult.
I think the keeper thought that he was going to go across his body.
I really thought Virginia Tech was going to hold on.
Yeah, Diop looked good in the clips that I saw.
Yeah, he was dangerous.
This is one that I could see either way. He doesn't initially call it. Like 20 seconds go by of gameplay, and then from this incident to when he decides, like 3 minutes pass.
Is that how does that work again? So like it wasn't originally called. So was it because it's a head injury they can go back and call it? Or like, for example, if it's a foul in the middle of the field, that's a red card offense, but they don't call it. And after 3 minutes, the ball goes out. Can they do the same thing they did with this play?
Also,
because I didn't know they could go back and call a no call, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't a call on the field. I'm not a referee.
No, there wasn't a call, and like then
no, there wasn't. But play was eventually stopped because Romberg was still down, rightfully so. I mean,
yeah, no, he got kicked in the face. It was a PK.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird. He like didn't react. Then the ball finally went out. They got Romberg up, and then because there were some VAA shouts, goes to monitor, decides to do a PK. You got to want it, and Romberg did. Threw himself at it. Whether I don't know whether you agree with it or not.
From there was a
Again,
like
like
a zoom,
I
yeah.
don't know.
There was a
I don't
zoomed
really
in.
have much of an opinion.
No, there was a zoomed in replay, and it looked like he did make some
Yeah,
he made
definitely
enough
high feet.
contact for it. Like this is a more of a PK than the other one, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. But Diop this time,
Jorginho-esque.
yeah, I thought he had a good game.
I mean, I think overall Virginia Tech will be happy with the tie, but given the circumstances, they would have definitely like a little upset because of the win, because they didn't get the win. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they'll be going into the Commonwealth Clash next,
Yeah.
so 11 and 12 before the re-rankings. Virginia will drop.
Virginia Tech
Virginia Tech
should
should
stay.
probably just stay around,
Yeah, and that would be a
obviously,
good game.
but yeah. Yeah, that's another one of the must watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick on, we didn't do the video because it was a 1-0 win for Georgetown, but we kind of talked about it earlier with the teams that really test themselves early and like they came into the game against Pitt without a win yet. But I mean, we posted um the full highlights with against Maryland, and throughout that game I thought they looked really dangerous, and Pitt knows not to underestimate them. So it was like, I don't know, they knew it wasn't going to be an easy game, so it's a great win for Georgetown against a disciplined team. And I mean, I know you've always been a Zach Zengay guy,
Yeah.
and he's always been a good player, but I think from the summer through the early stage of this season, like I personally feel like he's starting to raise his level a little bit, because almost every time he's on the ball, he looks dangerous.
Yeah, he's
And
playing.
he creates the goal for Oliver Stafford.
Yeah, much more freedom these last two games. They played like a 4-4-2, it seems, so he was kind of like that right mid, left mid. But with that being said, he had the freedom to come in. And I think that's where he works best, off the midfielders and off the nine. So solid win, but it just shows how like Georgetown, they're ranked. They lose to High Point, then they lose to Maryland,
Yeah, who
and now they
could or
beat
could not be ranked.
yeah, then they beat number 3 Pittsburgh. And like we talk about rankings don't really matter in regards to the great scheme of things, but it just shows how the difference between an unranked team and a ranked team, especially in these bigger conferences and these like good teams who aren't ranked, there's not a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you're always tuned in to the NC State games.
Yeah,
So
NC State. I mean, it's in my backyard. I have to.
yeah, I know.
No, yeah, but NC State 2-0 win against FIU. Going into it, FIU, the two starting center backs got red cards the game previously, so it was a very much a makeshift back three. They played in a 5-3-2. They sat in quite a bit, and they tried to hit on the counter. Phillip got a goal in the 12th minute. Of course, Healy's the one that assisted it, but like they won it in within 3 passes, a goal, but offsides. But yeah, like NC State were definitely unlucky not to be leading going into the half. FIU's defense stood on their head, and Van Haveren, goalkeeper from Netherlands, had a great game, record saving 11 saves, which is tough to like any level. 11 saves is tough, you know?
Yeah,
And
because sometimes you don't even get that amount of shots on target,
yeah. And
even
like I
if
think
there's
state
like 20
stats,
shots. But
yeah.
yeah,
State has like 25, like 20 plus shots in the last 3 games, which is impressive. But they do play fairly direct, so they
yeah,
usually get a shot off every long throw they have too. So it definitely
and
adds up.
that breakdown where you kind of talked us through the Conde to Healy to Phillip, like 3 passes to goal. I think they're one of those teams that can move the ball through the lines really quick, or from different areas of the field
Yeah.
before the opponent can adjust, which has those windows for opportunities.
And especially like Phillips like waiting for those giveaways. from the opposing team, and like he's waiting off the shoulder, and he just wants to go as soon as Healy gets it. So yeah, but like then both nines, Conde got injured with a hamstring, little injury, and then Eduardo Mustra got injured as well with a hamstring injury, which is sucks to see because both of those players are very talented, and you hope that it's not long. They were both able to walk off the field, but yeah, 2 hamstring injuries, both non-contact, which is also
Yeah, that's
something that
tough.
which
Yeah, I
is a
saw
red
another
flag.
one where there was a no contact. I forget which game it was.
Alonzo
Maybe
Clark too.
it was the Upstate game.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know who it was, but yeah, those injuries are just tough to
yeah.
see because it's not like selling it or anything. So,
But like
um,
honestly, Drew Lovelets scored a PK with 15 left to make it 1-0. But if that PK doesn't come, I think the game ends 0-0. Because even though State they were creating chances, it felt like one of those nights where like FIU's going to come out with a point, you know.
yeah,
But then after the
especially when
PK,
your goalkeeper is
yeah,
having
is
the
on
night of his
standing on his
life.
head. But then after the goal, it kind of opened back up, and then Jesham McLean scored a very nice volley off a corner kick, top of the box to make it 2-0. Then after that, it was kind of just, yeah, like exactly. Like, Justin actually, this was probably his best game, in my opinion, that I've seen him play at State. Started the game, looked very sharp, some good combination play, Healy as well. So yeah, so like Healy, McLean look sharp, and I mean, they just keep on winning, which is good for them, especially I think they play UNC next at home. So that's a huge game. But I think FIU, I think they can definitely take positives from this because they showed how they can defend against like good teams.
Yeah,
It's just unfortunate. But then again, like they're missing the 2 starting center backs. So, I mean, David Bakuzo looked good, transferred from Louisville, but he's been with FIU the last like 2 years. And Matisse Lefebvre as well, the number 6 for them. They both played in the back 3, and they looked composed and sharp. They're kind of the 2 veterans of the team. But yeah, like overall, it's a good State win, but FIU would definitely kind of feel a little upset for not holding in the last 15. But it was relentless attack from State, so
yeah,
ultimately probably the fair result.
yeah. I'm gonna sneak this one into the agenda just because you were talking about how Philip waits on the shoulders. Um, Kale versus USF. So USF, their 2 forwards have the same mentality, but there was one quick note I wanted to show here of this team. A little bit more to the build up here. We still have a couple more passes, but I'll be pausing it right here. So the 2 most forward players sitting on the shoulders of the Kale center backs. When the ball gets served in, I love how it's almost like they gravitate in the gaps, and both of them are straight through the gaps, like it's nothing to them.
Yeah.
So this ball will come in. One forward's already making the steps in, but look, both of them are unmarked through that gap in between the 3 center backs. San Francisco get their second here with some great combination play from the veteran 26-year-old midfielder.
We love old players in college.
Unless transfer market is wrong.
I mean, some of these international players maybe
Yeah.
having kids and be freshmen. They'll be like 27.
Kale earn a PK. Eventually, it's not enough, and San Francisco holding
That's
on.
celebration from the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah,
You gotta respect it.
I only respect it if you win.
Yeah, I mean, low
I
key, if
like a
you're
little
losing,
bit
if you're losing, not
I like a
probably
little
not.
bit of shithousery every now and then, but you got to back it up on the scoreboard too. Just quick notes. Boston College fell to Siena last time, 3-1. So Providence heading into this game, a little regional rivalry match here. The opportunity was there for them to get their first one of the season, especially after losing 1-0 to New Haven. But yeah, 2 headers from inside and on the edge of the box, the 6-yard box. Saw a 2-0 win for Providence over BC.
Good win for PC, especially after losing to New Haven. So definitely Boston College has to kind of go back to the drawing board and round up the troops. But I mean, for Providence, they needed that win.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we have the All Carolina matchups now. The exciting stuff.
Speaking of some regional matchups, we're sticking in the
another fire transition.
Yeah. So Davidson and Gardner Webb, and you noted the wing play, and you can see it in both of these goals here.
Yeah, I mean, Gardner Webb lined up in a classic 4-3-3, 1-6, 2-8s. Wingers held the touch line. Lewis Johnson, the Kentucky transfer, was very active right wing, looking and going behind. Samsung,
and this is them out there,
was the Penn State transfer, left wing, but like they were a handful for the Davidson back four. And yeah, I mean, Gardner Webb, they play very possession based, but because they have that pace out wide, they're more than happy to do like one ball to the midfield and it's turn and go. And yeah, I mean, like it's very, in the past, we've seen Scott Wells do like a 3-4-3, 4-2-3-1, but the personnel they have, definitely the classic 4-3-3 with the wingers holding the touch line is probably the way they're going to continue playing because it's dangerous.
Yeah, I want to replay this goal because, like, everybody out there, count on your fingers how many passes are strung together before the goal.
And you could see it.
Two, that's three.
Center back. Yeah, center
Lewis
back
coming up the line, great ball there. He's going to draw like 2 or 3 defenders. And then this, I think you see it on the other side as well during the run of play, but the wing and wing back connection, like there and there, keeps those defenders back, and then that pass is beautiful. And just kind of unlucky there. But, I mean, the whole build-up was just great. And this is a wing back on the right side. Big crossfield ball. Caparte
was a handful all game, to be fair.
Yeah, and he dances through and slots it bottom right. We cut out the celebration, but we won't talk about it that much. That might not be the best setting to be. You might want to retire that one.
Yeah, good goal though. Good goal.
Yeah, fantastic goal. We love seeing those types of goals. Right at the death here, 4 minutes to go. Davidson get a lifeline through corner kick, but again, just kind of run out of time. And it's a tough defense. I think Leo Andrade could be a good. I mean, he always shows up really well in USL League 2. He's one of those like veteran guys on the back line. I think started his career at Pitt, but he's been with Scott, with Gardner Webb, but one of those guys that you wouldn't want to play against.
No, he's a master of the dark arts.
Yeah,
he's a very good player, but like he's very good at pissing off the nines and the forwards and getting them to react. And like I've played against it firsthand. I've watched it multiple times, but I mean it's part of the game, and I think Gardner Webb's also good at that. They're good at, like dominating the ball, but also dominating like, the mental side of the game and like letting like the play kind of like, it's just that is good at the dark arts, and you have to respect it.
Yeah, for him specifically, I always thought it was funny because I've been watching him for a couple of years now over the summers specifically, and it's just funny because I'm like, I'd hate to play against him because as a player, like everything he gives you on the field is solid, but like how he gets under some of these guys' skin,
you got to respect it.
It's, I mean, it's kind of funny because during the playoffs last summer, it was one of those type of games, and it's like,
right?
This was against Sarasota Paradise.
Okay.
I remember it was Malmeister is a beast. So when those guys were like face to face, I was like, oh boy. But yeah, I'm sitting there. Yeah, I want you on my team, but I'm not necessarily sure I'm gonna bail you out of any
Any fights after the game.
physical altercation because, like, you got to back up that mouth.
But it does work
And
though, because the
yeah,
moment you
he's
get
a
in that
physical guy, so
you
you
get in
know,
that number nine's head, and then that takes away from his footballing ability, and now the other team
yeah,
basically one player short because there's so much in their head they can't focus on the game at hand.
yeah, and I'm just gonna try to be known for the transitions. Speaking of being in your own head, uh, South Carolina falling to USC Upstate. It's a revival at Upstate. Believe he's a first year coach. He brought in a crazy amount of freshmen,
First year from
40-man
Coker, I
roster.
believe.
Only 3 guys stayed.
Yeah.
Um, and they have that like youthful jubilance and um, I don't know, maybe even confidence of like, hey, why not? And the whole first half, and I get that there's some rotation in one of those situations where you're still trying to figure out the recipe of what you want to roll with going forward, but you know, for Upstate to be that dominant in the first half, uh, it was kind of wild.
I don't think anyone expected it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they had a couple really interesting players that I think the one goal, um, maybe I could find it. Yeah, really good, technically worked. Found a window and capitalized on it. So they went up 1-0
I think we can't see
at
it. Can you
half.
share it real quick?
And yeah, I mean, when the second half rolled through and the game swung the other way in terms of chances, like if that's not an indicator of who you need to be kind of rolling with and just letting them uh, start it off and just that the fitness level is there for some of these main players that you want to count on. But I thought Galen Flynn played really well. Uh, just one of those guys that's a gamer. And they have a few of those personality guys that like they don't give a rat's ass about, you know, anything else but winning. They just want to win games.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about Matthew DeJean personally, but I feel like as a freshman, his work rate, uh, and he had that assist against Clemson. Like I think he's been with it, and then yeah, so like inserting him into the starting lineup, and in the first half, I think a lot of the issue was that Upstate took a lot of advantage of the midfield. It was almost like a
Mhm.
training session for them. So Mika Hobble being a natural center midfielder, um, coming into college, he's already shown that he's going to be um, putting in all the work, but you need to have some sort of fight in the midfield and a lot less jogging. I mean, we see a lot of the teams that are successful, their midfielders are protecting that back line like it's life or death.
Yeah.
And oftentimes early on for South Carolina, we're just kind of seeing them watch the center backs try to defend as a group and hopefully
Yeah.
win it. And if they don't, then kind of a tough thing there. Um,
I mean, South Carolina did have chances in the second half to
yeah,
equalize and even win the game, but I think this goes back to depending on your personnel playing to your strength and setting up the team appropriately. So a conversation about getting overrun in the midfield doesn't happen, whether it's a formation change or a personnel change. I mean, they have the talent, and like I said, they had the chances. So easily this game could have been like a 4-1 to South Carolina if the chances go in, especially second half. But it's concerning that it didn't go that way. But fair play
yeah,
to Upstate. They definitely had a game plan, and a couple times they were defending for their lives, but they got the result.
yeah, for sure. And I think it was like a little bit of a yeah. So hold on, we got you, Eric. Don't worry. We forgot about Stanford and the ACC. So they played on Sunday and Thursday. We're gonna. They're definitely not outside of my view. I'm gonna be. I think just looking at their schedule real quick. Once they move past UC Davis, I think. Yeah, on Friday, I believe it. Yeah, this Friday because Stanford play tomorrow night. When Stanford plays Louisville, I'll probably be watching with pure dedication, and everybody knows I love clipping games. So,
Yeah, and they had a good one against Santa Clara on Thursday, 2-1.
yeah,
So
and yeah, back-to-back 2-1 wins, most notably against Denver on Sunday. Um, one of those Jack Pam freshman got the opener on that game, and then Tomo Allen gets the winner against Santa Clara in the 62nd minute by Takashi Sasaki. I wonder if he's related to Shuma Sasaki, who had an assist for Michigan. But anyway, yeah, they just keep rolling. I think that's those are exhibitions. But yeah, they start off the season 3-0. Sacramento State, Denver, Santa Clara. One more California game, and then they get right into
and it's travel time.
ACC. Yeah, 2 away games to start the season for conference play. Louisville and Syracuse. So yeah, it'll be a good little run for them to see. And they'll have some good tape. I know they're probably a team that really looks at that type of stuff, just as everyone does.
Yeah. No, yeah, but I think you have any closing thoughts on the South Carolina Upstate game? I think we kind of hit the main points.
I mean, it's a grander theme, I guess. Like you can apply this to any team, especially ones that are kind of still finding their way. From a coaching perspective, and this is kind of like only just using them as a topic starter, it's not really referring too much to them, but like I do like a back three personally, but it has to suit the matchup that you're playing. And the times I only really like 3 center backs is if I'm going up against 2 strikers, because I love to have a free center back to kind of help clean up anything that might happen in the man marking situation. But if you're playing against 1 striker and 2 wide wingers, I don't want my wide wing backs to be going up and down the field so much just to cover guys that the trade-off is what the 3 center backs are pulled really wide to just be in 1v1s while the outside backs are higher. So 1 striker, 2 center backs, then 1v1s on the side with the wing backs versus wing. They have the ability to do both. Like Jonah Bagar's a natural like holding midfielder. Mika's a natural midfielder, but does obviously a really good job on the flank. But it's like if your concerns are around your control of the midfield, help with the matchups on the back line, make it more clean, like clear cut, and then solidify the midfield, especially when you got guys that can fit into that. Yeah, just some of those like tactical things. I do think like Ballack, DeJean, Trimnell, those guys up top, like put in a shift, and it helps the midfielders. Like the objective of the press isn't to have your forward win the ball. Like sometimes it happens, but most of it is to just apply pressure for those inward passes to the midfield to where the next lineup can jump and steal the ball and then transition immediately. So they have the guys that are willing to put in the shift, So yeah, it'll come to them, I think. Like we said, they had plenty of chances. They just need to dial it in because a lot went over. There were a lot of heading opportunities, and that's kind of tougher to manage than the striking. But our last of, because I can't literally clip every game, but I do want to bring up. I have a couple more for like our just quick rundowns of the results, but we'll cover Portland because they've been at work over there in the Pacific Northwest. Just need to find it. Did I not even download it?
Yeah, they've been sneakily
Here we go.
getting in work and winning.
Yeah, and we didn't bring them up, because they played Lewis and Clark. But now that they're back with some D1 opponents, Siena, obviously we mentioned them because they came off a 3-1 win. It was not the same type of result for them. A couple corner kicks that started things off. Get a little shield off there, quick juke, play back across. And this is just the desire in traffic. This play right here, these types of crosses, I love. Like some guys will maybe take this space and try to go to the touchline and cut it back. But there's such a good little gap in between the back line here and the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming this is stuff that they do in training. But again, this is one of my favorite types of crosses. Like Remy does it, and there's plenty out there who do. But letting your players or letting your attackers run onto it while the defenders are facing their own goal. This ball played in is a nice one to see.
Especially because the back line's already retreating.
Yeah, and they don't want to make mistakes. So they might be reluctant to kind of put their foot on it. And again, another ball played across here with all the bodies facing their own goals, and that's what happens. Kind of an own goal there, but again,
solid win though.
They're putting themselves in positions to do that. So maybe another thing that some people can learn.
That was a solid win though.
I'll name names for you. Yeah, there's like Haiti or players with Haitian heritage or were born and raised there. I mean, they're doing work at the college level and in the MLS. So some good players coming out of there. Ricky Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, missed a PK this last game, but still solid performance.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Yeah. No, I don't know. I didn't actually watch that game.
We have the quick rundowns of the other results.
Quick rundown. I mean, so another one of the big top ranked games. Obviously, Virginia Tech and Marshall were probably the highest dual ranked game, but their neighbors, West Virginia, played a 16th ranked to Akron for a 0-0 draw.
I don't have anything about that. Like I was expecting,
I watched a little, but I was expecting a little bit.
I was expecting more goals, but I think it was a good defensive battle from both teams. Both teams had chances.
And both well coached and all that. So like it was just nothing really materialized. It was just
And I think more strong defensive performance than anything amazing on the attacking side. But talk about transitions. One good defender also had a goal for Notre Dame.
We talked about him a couple times. I'm bringing it up right now.
Notre Dame got the win over 14 Oregon State with a Mitch Ferguson goal from KK Bafor.
From KK Bafor. So a couple of the guys from that team, I like a lot of players on their roster, but two of the main guys that we talk about a lot, but KK's delivery,
great ball.
Mitch Ferguson's towering header for the win. He can do it defensively, and he can give you some goals.
Great ball too by KK. He just like on a
Yeah.
dime.
Yeah. And that's like what I like about him is run a play, those final balls. He's just a dangerous creator.
Yeah.
Again, we always say, like, or we've said it before, known more for his creation than maybe goal scoring, but I mean, what a creator he is. And the other a couple other guys that
I knew
are
it was
high in our rankings in terms of the center back group. Similar ask, but nice
that's
towering header
Hatter.
from Nolan Miller. Again, guy who can do it on the back side of the operation and giving you goals. Here's Sasaki. I just threw this one in there because he just continues to be dangerous. But what a ball there from Shuma.
I mean, yeah, solid win.
No, we definitely got to cover. I think. Let's see. Yeah, these are the last of the goals, so I'll sneak this one in here. But I mean, we got to talk about Stefan NGK's goal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Despite a 2-2 draw against Bucknell, another one of those like kind of George Mason-esque teams, like the non like household names yet, but a team that is getting some results. Let's see if I can. Why can't I? Maryland. Nobody can see it, but I'm like looking through files and files and files of
As many.
of all these. God, why? All right, hold on. Just.
I mean, it ended 2-2, but I will say, at home, Maryland probably would have liked the win, but I mean, both goals were class goals individually. But
yeah, here's the NGK one, I think, and that ball from Jace Clark. He's another one. MLS Academy, straight down the line. I think he's going to shoot here.
His hips. He opened up his hips so much, and it was a great turn.
Yeah, that like,
because as a defender, when you open up those hips, see how the
he
defender
settles
trends?
it here, makes it look like he's going to shoot. Yeah, finds
No
himself a window.
backflips though, which was kind of annoying.
Hold on, no. All the fans were like, "Give us the backflips." He's like, "No, not doing it, not doing it." That's why the clip's going so long. He actually does do it.
That's crazy. Like it seems like it's sped up.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time he did it in Vermont. I thought like I had to play it back. I thought I was seeing things.
Well,
but yeah,
speaking of Vermont, his Vermont teammate Luca Castible with the second goal for Maryland before Bucknell eventually came back, but little body feint there, sneaks by. And I think the commentators were like, "Oh, you didn't expect that." Luca's a good player.
He has that in his bag. He's able to.
Yeah, he's got it in his locker.
Yeah.
But again, like the NGK thing, it's the same thing like we talked about with Ransford, and we've seen it all summer during the tournament and now in the early stages with Maryland, but players that can do something special. And he's a special player. I mean, you and I, we've talked to plenty of the players that were with the Vermont team, and they had glowing reviews about NGK. They said he's just different. And yeah, what an asset that'll be for them.
Yeah.
You got to give the people what they want.
True.
That's never back down. Dylan, are you a movie guy?
I'm a movie guy. I don't know about your kind of movies, but I like some movies.
Wow.
What's your top? That can be the question to end it off. Favorite movie?
Yeah, we'll do a soccer movie this time because there's a few. See if you even know some of these. Gray, I know you're still listening. if you want to come on and cover a game with us, feel free. But Dylan, this one's for you.
Luke Hutzel, like he came in freshman year, not a lot of hype around him, but he carried the midfield. Not saying the other midfielders weren't quality, but he was kind of the mainstay as the six. And they played a very expensive 3-4-3, and he was kind of their deep lying playmaker, winning second balls. But yeah, quality player. He's considered like undersized and skinnier, but he makes up for it with kind of his speed of play. Always looking to combine. I think long term, I could even see him as a passable like right back, left back. I know that's what me and Mark talk because these second teams and pro teams like to take midfielders who are technical with a good work rate and put them out there. But
yeah, sometimes you just like, depending on your position, you end up falling back in the formation. So like wingers might go to wing backs and stuff like that.
Luke is solid. I think against the Marshall game last year, he struggled with the press that Marshall was giving him because Furman played that expansive way. He was kind of by himself sometimes, but I mean, this year he already looked solid. He had a great header goal against, I think it was like UC San Diego, but he's someone that like has a lot of the tangibles that you can develop into a very good pro, especially him being in the Atlanta United pipeline. Braden, I've been impressed with him so far. I mean, he's walked into the lineup and he's been a mainstay. Good left foot. He hasn't been challenged too much in regards to like defending and transitioning. So they play Duke on tomorrow, actually. So that'll be a good game to see how he is against more of an attacking threat. But in possession, he's been quality. Him and it's a young team, but I think he has the experience with the national team and playing with the second team. So he's not really like new to it, Malachi Grant, he hasn't played as much this year, but last year he was basically the starting left wing back. And I think he's more of a natural out and out winger on the, I think right side cutting in. But he's solid. Like I said, I don't think he's a wing back, but technical, smaller too, but he's a good, all three of them are good, have good soccer IQs in regards, like they know the game well, they know how to combine and play. But he's someone that I think could thrive in more of a comfortable position. So even if he's not playing wing back, he could be one of those like inverted 10s or wingers in that 3-4-3. Or this year they've been playing 4-4-2, so even like that right mid position. But yeah, all three of those are like, it seems like Atlanta United Academy just has a lot of good players across the college landscape. But yeah, I'm high on all three, especially Luke. I think Luke's a good player. And that's my that's my 2 cents.
And thanks, Dylan.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll just bring up. I was scrambling to get these in here, but this is from yesterday. Georgia Southern, despite the missed PK, came out 1-0. Guilherme Gomez, 4 goals for St. John's.
He's a defender too.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I didn't watch it. I didn't clip it, but I mean, if you're scoring 4 goals as a defender, it takes some investigating. Belmont, Harvard, 1-0 for Belmont. Back-to-back clean sheets for our buddy Grant Calvert.
Shout out.
And only 1 goal against for the first 3 games. 3-0 start for the Nashville boys.
Yeah.
UCNG or Greensboro, South Florida, 1-1. We had some friends of the podcast at that game. North Carolina keeps cruising, 2-0. Evansville, I don't even think I put it on here, but that's on our list. That's another team that we haven't really clipped yet in terms of like how they play and things, are kind of breaking it down, but it's definitely on the list. Vermont, 1-1.
I watched the second half of that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was away at American, a little lackluster. I mean, it was one of those games that wasn't like, it was just a whatever. Like kind of Vermont had chances more in their first half after watching it back a little bit that they could have capitalized, but American The goal that American scored was kind of sloppy on Vermont's half. They couldn't clear the ball out, top of the box goal. But yeah, I mean, it's a tie early on this season, so I don't think it's going to affect them too much. But also, it was an away from home, so the travel and all that probably got to them. But I mean, it's 1-1, so you kind of just have to take the point and move on.
Yeah, and I think I watched at least the goals from the Campbell and William and Mary game. Not much to report, but yeah, the Campbell guys.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and that's why when I'm rushing, it's almost like it should be a segment where I'll strategically put in a mistake and see who first comments
Yeah, I feel
what's
you.
wrong. Because Portland did not play Portland. They played Siena. But I think I was tripped up on like home and away, and I just was hustling through. But yeah, I mean, this is usually we go over 2 hours unless we have major comments on our favorite soccer movies. But
Soccer movie's crazy. No, but no, I think it was
do you
solid an
even
hour 30.
do you even know what this movie is?
That
This is way
guy, is
this
that
is
the guy
way
in this from
before
The Sandlot?
yeah, this is way before your time.
Hey, let me look this up. The big green. That
It's hysterical, you know.
I need to watch it.
You know, for everyone out there who now that we're away from I guess we're done with the
We're done with college
yeah,
soccer. Now we can talk
we're
about
done with
movies.
college soccer. I want to educate all the youngsters out there.
Guess
this is a
the
movie that
Rotten Tomato score on it.
you can't trust that. If it ain't above a 9, it's wrong.
Check. Can I read the review?
Yeah.
Disney should be embarrassed, but since they own nearly every entertainment outlet known to man, who is to tell them?
No. Okay, let me give you a
That's
synopsis,
wild. Are
everybody
you gonna
out
claim
there.
this movie?
So these kids in this school, it's middle of nowhere, Texas, outside Austin in a fictitious town. This exchange teacher from England comes and she's like, "Oh, I want to teach you about football." And then they go find the football and they're like, "No, that's not football." But long story short, she makes a town fall in love with the great game of soccer. And not only that, they take down the Knights, who are this perennial program in the area, and kind of Mighty Ducks-esque in a way, but it's a funny one.
I'll see if I can watch it before the next episode, but I respect that. Yeah, of course, that's a classic.
And then I forced Tyler to watch this one, but a little bit more recent, but great one. We actually referenced it a little bit when we were talking about Duke. Keep passing the ball to the Italians.
No, that's a solid one.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that, you gotta watch it. And then
That's
my
it.
brother
This is like the classic.
making fun of me. I did not think that Santiago Munoz was a real player. But yeah, I mean the first and second were decent. I don't even know if they made a third, but yeah.
I mean,
let's hear it in the comments, everybody. What's your favorite soccer movie?
or just favorite movie too. If you want to do
Oh, this is a great call. She's the Man is pretty funny. You ever seen that one, Dylan?
No.
What? Dude, that's like Channing Tatum and
Channing Tatum's in it?
yeah, Amanda Bynes. It's hysterical.
This is actually a movie?
Dude.
Why is she wearing a suit? The best one is the PK.
She's like a really good women's soccer player. The school that she goes to cut their women's soccer program. So she goes to her twin brother's school because he's this wannabe rock star. So he goes to London. She kind of takes his identity in a way, makes the team to prove that she is a good player.
I see. Yeah. I know. Maybe I'll probably watch that. But
yeah, if you can fit it in with the crazy game schedule
with the 20 other games, soccer games you have to watch. No, but yeah, the best one is that PK shootout one when the guy hits his face like 20 times. Scott Sterling.
Well, that's not a movie.
No, but like that's the best soccer kind of like
Yeah.
video / movie that I've seen.
I mean, there was one Key and Peele skit that they did about soccer that was really funny.
Yeah.
I think even non-soccer people.
Oh yeah, the football flop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think next episode it's only right if you start with one of these videos, but
Yeah.
Sunday should be good games. I'm gonna watch the Duke Furman game, so that will be a fun one.
Yeah, let's see here. We're not gonna do a Saturday episode. I guess I'll fill everybody in. I have a wedding to go to, but Friday night, depending on the schedule, we might try to work in like a quick little
one. Yeah.
episode. St. Louis is up on Seton Hall right now. With Grady Easton assist Braden Sellers. Still a half hour to go on that one. But yeah, I do want to kind of see super quick since we have time. What do like the Wednesday and Thursday games look like? Indiana versus St. Louis, Gardner Webb versus West Virginia. That's a light day on the 3rd.
Yeah, it's not too many. No, but I mean, overall, I hope people enjoyed this episode. I think pretty short and sweet. So we'll probably be tweeting the game highlights coming up, the next couple games, and player spotlights. And if we do an episode on Friday or sometime, you might fit one in. So just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, it might not be Friday, but I think, again, actually, let me create a banner real quick so people know. But college soccer match day on Instagram. Unfortunately, we don't post on there as much because it's cumbersome, like reformatting everything for picture and video based. So if you do really enjoy the coverage, I'd recommend CS Match Day on Twitter. It's also where we go live on my personal account, which we can add to, right? You want to shout out? You're Dylan R. Lane.
Dylan or Lane on Twitter. If not, just follow the college soccer match day and yeah, just be on the lookout for everything we've been posting. But you have a quote to end it off, or what? Inspirational quote for the people.
Trying to think of like something really, maybe like a inspirational story from back in the day.
Oh shoot, you're getting deep on us then. I thought you were gonna like give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know. Random story. One of the funniest halftime speech or pregame or halftime speeches was like back in high school. Our coach, he would one of our like pump up things. I think it only happened once, but he was like, "If I was in a bar fight, I'd want you 20 mother effers behind me." We're like kids.
Yeah, you're like, what's a
You
bar?
could probably pick better dudes to back you up, but yeah, we were buzzing. We were like, yeah, we're tough.
Yeah, well,
but we were a tough team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like that sport.
On the
I
spot like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, look out for Pitt, Clemson, and Duke, Georgetown, NC State, and North Carolina stuff. We can probably blast out. Man, that's a heck of a day because that's the Virginia Tech Virginia Day.
Oh yeah,
that's on Friday. Akron, Ohio State, Denver. Well, Denver Crane's kind of figuring it out still. But yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Till next time.
Yeah, we appreciate the support and follow us. It's probably a little easier in between.
Yeah.
But have a good night, everybody.
Bye.